welcome to the BNL Eclipse Hour. My name is Aaron Harrell and I'm the media teacher here at the North Lawrence Career Center.
And I'm Dr. Erin Miller, and I'm the Secondary Curriculum Director for North Lawrence Community Schools. Today is the first episode of a great podcast series for you about the upcoming total solar eclipse.
We have, of course, Mr. Joachim Ladwig, which is our Earth Space Science teacher, NASA partner, and Astronomical Society of the Pacific Eclipse Ambassador. We're also happy to have
April Blair. April has worked in libraries for about 8 years. She has a BS in Organizational Management from Oakland City University and a Master's in Information and Library Science from IUPUI. April began in community engagement at the Mitchell Community Public Library and now holds the position of Adult Services Coordinator at the Bedford Public Library. April has been married for 30 years come August, has 4 kids who are mostly adults, and a cat named Morris. Welcome, April.
Well, hello, and welcome to the BNL Eclipse Hour.
Absolutely. The library has all kinds of fun and engaging things the next month or so to prep and get us ready, just thinking about space, thinking about the eclipse, and getting us ready to view it safely as well as entertainment.
So science can be entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
Today, as we kick off the BNL Eclipse Hour podcast series, we'll be discussing some local eclipse educational programs. And I imagine that communities all along the path across Indiana, the path of eclipse totality, that is, will be doing similar things. Yeah?
Absolutely. The state library had trainings, put out guides, not just for viewing, but for programming too, to get people interested and talking about all things space. So lots of your libraries, from little libraries to great big libraries, will all have different exciting and engaging programming for their communities. So, and the nice thing about it too is you have a little bit of originality too. So each library may be doing something slightly different or, something a little more innovative. That's why it's a good idea to check your library websites for their calendars to see what kind of events they have planned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Each library then is independent.
Yes, has their own programming schedule, so they do as many or as they can, actually.
All right. So here in Bedford, Indiana, we'll be counting on you, our local library, and our local librarians to be key resources.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. We have quite a lineup for these next few weeks.
We have a little bit of history, stepping back, I guess, working together with the April 18th solar eclipse, when first we met virtually. Your insight and educational materials for the W9 BNL Radio Club hooked us up and got us moving forward in our first investigative eclipse science back in October. And I super appreciate that.
Yeah,
the club's been growing, and they're very excited about doing more stuff, and they're fired up for this eclipse upcoming.
Excellent.
Which we have the day off from school, so
Oh, hey, what more could you ask for?
more days for science.
That's right.
Yeah. And I'm excited that we're both going to have a chance to hopefully be looking up on April 8th, and we'll see a great hole in the sky. That'll be fun.
Yes.
A couple of warm-up questions, if you will.
Sure. Absolutely.
Here at Bedford North Lawrence High School, we have helpful librarians and a lovely library, as you've seen.
Yes, it's beautiful.
In fact, you have been back to the school before, yes?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I've been in the building several times, and I love the library here. I just love how you can view it, and of course, just the library itself. I mean, always in love with the library.
Truly my favorite place. I mean, on the short list of my favorite things, my favorite places, libraries are tops, all of them.
Awesome.
They're just sweet.
It warms my librarian heart.
Yep. And I've learned along the way that becoming a librarian is more than just taking on a part-time job. It could be, but it can also be pretty deep. This whole MLIS program. Yes?
Yes.
Can you say a little bit about that?
Sure.
And tell the kids how fun that can be?
Yeah, especially if you really like school.
Yeah.
You can have a base degree in lots of different things before pursuing a master's in information and library science. Mine happens to be in organizational management, but a lot of other people have started from social work or business or education, those are all common areas where people have gotten their bachelor's degree, and then their career took another path, and they got really interested in library science. Library science is a master's degree, so you have to go to graduate school and all the things that incur when you go to graduate school. And the library system actually for Indiana is set up in certifications. So you can get from L1 to L5 depending on your level of education. So the nice thing about libraries is you can go ahead and be hired. You have your bachelor's degree, get hired, and work your way up. Go to graduate school while you're in libraries, get a lower L level certification, and then work your way up to 2 and then 1. So yeah, you don't have to just get your master's degree and then start in libraries. That can be a whole experience of growing and learning and educating, getting yourself an education, and then, getting those high-level certifications.
And is that a local program? Does that have to remain local, or can you travel the state or the nation building yourself up and being in the same field, as it were?
Sure. You can go from state to state. They all are generally leveled the same. So they're all based on how many hours of service, your level of education. So if you don't have your master's, if you have 15 credit hours, within the career, the field, then, that'll go towards, whatever certification. So each state might have like a little bit of a tweak, right? A little bit of a difference, but a majority of it is how it's leveled is about the same. So yeah, you could go pretty much anywhere anywhere. We have international librarians, they're in other countries and that are part of the American Library Association. So there you go.
Well, that's exciting news.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. As you were degreeing up, as you were working your way through college, did you focus on any particular part of literature or the sciences or culture along the way?
When I got my bachelor's, it was I was in business at the time, so it was mostly just about management and organizational management in nonprofits. So that was where I chose to focus, was organizational, nonprofit kind of work. Once I got into the master's program, then yes, typically you will choose an area of focus. So either you can be a children's librarian, you can be an adult services librarian, reference, technical services. So those are the folks that handle all the books and the card catalogs and, all that great stuff. People that they like spreadsheets and that kind of thing. That's a great career for those kind of folks. But there's also a lot of technology involved because of digital resources, right? So the library, about half of our services, people that don't come through the door anymore, they're all digital. So we never even see their faces, but they use the library regularly because of digital services. So that's a whole field in libraries too. If you're really into computers and computer science, we have databases and different kinds of resources and materials, that are all online, e-books, e-audiobooks, e-magazines, e-movies, e-comics, you name it. The library has thousands of those online. Hoopla and Libby are 2 of our apps. Can go on and use your library card and have 2 giant digital databases of fun resources and materials. There you go. That was a plug.
Wow.
A plug for our digital services.
No shame right there. Come visit the library today.
Absolutely.
Or visit
come on
from your home.
That's exactly right.
And a library card is still a requirement.
Yes, and you can actually get a digital library card and not have to come to the library. If you want a physical material, then you do have to come and bring your ID to the library, and we can get you a card. But yeah.
So I could do it from home and never...
You could. If you just wanted to use the digital resources, There you go.
That's quite accommodating.
Yes, access. So libraries, that is our absolute focus, is access. Libraries, people think books, which is great because that's part of what we do for sure. And I think we'll always have a physical collection. But our main focus is access. So to information, to resources, to education, to literacy, all those things, that's what the library's mission, our goal, that's what we focus on. We want to make sure everyone has access.
Which makes sense. That's one of the great things about America. We do
Absolutely.
our very best to give everybody access as equally as we can be, and
Absolutely.
more equal this year than last year.
That's right.
Yep, right on. Well, that's exciting. A last starter question. Your family, you and or your family, are you doing anything special for the eclipse?
Well, I work.
I'll be at work.
I'll be at work on the day of the eclipse. But yeah, my husband will be home with my kids, and they will be viewing from the backyard. They're very excited. Already have their glasses. They're already prepping snacks, because snacks are important. Any scientific endeavor needs good snacks. So we're prepping, getting ready for them to view it. It's nice that we got them the glasses, and we'll talk about it later. I have a plug too for the free glasses. To have those at home. There's a lot of folks that can't get out to some of these bigger events in the county, and that doesn't mean that you can't have access and you can't enjoy the eclipse. We're going to make sure everybody gets some glasses. So even if you can't get out, it's fine. You can still enjoy it.
Right on. Well, that's cool. I'm not surprised that the library is going that far for people, but I'm impressed how far the library is going for people.
Sure.
That's really, really cool. Wow. Well, today, as we launch off here, I had hoped, and I do hope, to chat a bit about upcoming library programming in general,
Sure.
and of course in Eclipse programming in specific, in particular. I'd like you to help our NLCS viewing audience find our way to some reliable and easily accessible Eclipse background information.
Sure. Of course, you can come to the library, and we have all kinds of books and that kind of thing, both on the children's floor and on the adult floor. So if you have younger siblings or kiddos or whatever, library is a good place for everybody. So those kinds of resources are available for every age group. Of course, we have laptops at the library too that you can check out, and we can sit with you. The librarians are super happy to help you surf, Google, look for whatever information you need or you desire. We have those available to folks and the teens also. So even your students, those things are also available on the children's floor. So if a teenager would like to get a laptop and check that out, and then get assistance from a librarian in their research. We call that reference in the library world. You are seeking reference. That's what librarians do. So it's really is one of the best places to go, because it's kind of our business to know how to search. So we don't have to have like a specific website or a specific, we just need topic of information. And then that's what we do. We give access. So,
And I will have to say, from personal experience at IU, when I waded into the giant
wow.
library there and looked at, it might be 15 floors. I don't know. It's certainly 5 floors.
Yeah,
it's
it's
enormous.
crazy
The
amount.
stacks and stacks and stacks of books. I had no idea where to go. Like, what do I do? And I just sidled up to the nearest librarian at random and said, "Excuse me." And it was like the world opened up and I could find my way everywhere.
Absolutely.
They were phenomenal. And librarians have been like that through my life ever since I discovered you guys are awesome.
Yeah. We like to look for stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of a thing with the librarians. Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to look for things. There's no query that would, we wouldn't help you find. So
So the graduate research paper,
there you go.
you are our friend.
For sure.
Absolutely. Awesome. And you mentioned you mentioned that we have obviously we have a younger audience targeted. Now, of course, this podcast is going out to 3-generation families, right? Our
It is.
community is 3 generations, and that's incredible. And all these people and all of us have access to the library, and there's someone there who can help us find our way.
Yep. Any floor you're on.
You'd mentioned someone can help me find my way into the Google if I need to, and I appreciate that.
Always.
Because there's so many new things every time I turn around. There's a new app for that. Like, really?
Yeah,
You
for
guys
sure.
know, your reference people
That's right.
know that.
We try to stay on top of that. Things are constantly changing in the digital world, so you have to stay on top of all the new and exciting things that come out.
As hard as that is to do. For sure. Springboarding
Sure.
from the entry into the Eclipse topic and through all this amazing reference material, could you shed a little bit light on the guided and self-guided programs that are upcoming here at our library and around the community, I suppose, in the weeks ahead leading up to April 8th?
Sure. This coming month, February, we have quite a few things going on, but I kind of want to focus more in on March because that's kind of like the big month previous to that we're doing a larger number of Eclipse programming. So a lot of our guided programs are what we consider in person. So that means you come to the library, you either register online or you just show up. So that'll be on the website. You go to our calendar. Our calendar will show daily times and whether or not it's a registered program or you just show up. So if it's registered, please register so that we know that you're coming. But those kinds of programs are the ones we have the most of. We do have some self-guided kits that you can pick up. On the children's floor, they have quite a few more than we do, but the adult floor does have. We just finished up. I have a few left. Make your own sundial kits as a part of the space. Yeah, so you get to make your own sundial and learn about positioning and all that good stuff. So that's a really good sciencey fun kit that we just finished up with. So, but in-person wise, in March, we have what's called Journey Through Inner Space. So we're using this idea of solar eclipse to get people thinking about all different kinds of space-related things, right? We really want people to open up and be creative and think about lots of different things. So Journey Through Inner Space is super fun. That is a time of meditation. What we're going to do is use a projector that projects space onto the ceiling. And we will be playing Vangelis. I don't know if you know who that is. That is a space-inspired composer.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. So a little good health and wellness, a little mental health prep, right?
Wow.
Based in space.
That'll be space. I mean, like, it's an ethereal moment, Vangelis.
Yeah,
It's pretty
it's
amazing.
just beautiful. Okay, so then also, that's on March 6th at 6. That is a registration event, please. So please sign up. We're going to do some fun and quirky stuff like a Star Wars trivia night. We're going to do a Craft Along and Prosper, where we're going to do several Star Trek inspired crafts. Absolutely. We're also going to do a glow in the dark paint along. We're going to talk about luminescence, some different sciencey things, and do the fun part too about painting with black lights and all kind of cool stuff. So that'll be super fun. That's on the adult floor. The children's floor, we have a pre-K discovery, which is for preschoolers, which is going to be outer space inspired, where they do crafts and all kinds of cool stuff, dance and music. We try to keep them nice and active. That's on our calendar. Another one on our calendar for teens and tweens is myth and lore. We're doing constellations, so all about the myth and lore behind constellations. That will be super cool. And then towards the end of the month on March 18th, we will be hosting the Star Lab over at Stonegate Arts and Education Center. So that will be super fun. That's also registration, so you'll have to go on our website. I think all those things are going to be fun. Like I said, we try to be kind of innovative and do some crafty things, some health and wellness things, some science things, right? To make sure we draw all kinds of people into our programming and into the eclipse and into thinking about space and science. But our biggest event will be March 7th. That's from 4 to 6 in the evening. And that'll be at the depot down by the square. And we will be having a big event where we'll be handing out all kinds of safety glasses. Anyone can show up and get a pair, anybody. So just drive in, park, come get your glasses. But on top of that, we're also going to be having some fun activities for children. We're going to be working with UV beads and have information about solar storage. We're also going to be making some really cool solar eclipse pictures, doing some little arts and crafty type things too for your folks that are into the arts. Some beautiful solar eclipse pictures. And then we're going to have a fun table that has lots of safety information because we want people to view safely.
Yes.
But we're also going to have fun stuff too, like activities that you can do at home, experiments that you can do at home, right? So you can pick that up and have a guide to be able to do something fun at home, like a model solar probe, comet on a string, how to make a bubble-powered rocket, just fun activities that you can grab and go. Because I know a lot of people are, like I said, we're going to have no school that day. We're going to be at home.
Right.
It would be something fun to do. Even a few recipe and snack suggestions for a truly solar eclipse picnic for that day. We're talking moon pies, sun chips, star crunch, you know.
Stop. You're killing me. That's great.
All that fun picnicky stuff to make sure you have a fun, complete, and total experience for the solar eclipse. There you go.
Totality.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your public library at your service.
That's what we're here for.
Well, that's fantastic.
Sure.
Far and away more than I would have imagined. And I'll have to say, I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I stumble on by the information kiosk somewhere and I see a thing for whatever, some kind of program, I'll pick it up and I'll go, yeah, maybe. But Miss April Blair, you brought this thing to life.
Yes.
And there is no way that we can stay away. That's really incredible stuff.
Yeah. Should be lots of fun.
Star Wars and Star Trek in the same place.
We felt like we had to represent, right? We couldn't.
Be careful, though.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing.
Exactly. So we had to make sure we had represent both there, too.
That's impressive. Really, really out there.
There you go.
Fantastic. Well, you've kind of led us up to the day. And I guess as Eclipse Totality nears us on April 8th at 3:06 p.m., what sort of crowds and questions are you preparing for there in the facility? Because you said you'll be open.
Yes, we will definitely be open. We don't expect to have as many as maybe like the fairgrounds have big, wider open spaces. We are telling people that if you are in town, it'll still be great. Totality will be fantastic. You just have to remember there are certain things when it comes to light pollution when you're in town that are a part of the viewing experience as well. You know, it's going to be entirely dark. So more than likely in most of your cities and towns, your street lights are going to kick on. So that's just part of, it won't be entirely dark. So out in the county and the fields and those kinds of things, yeah, you'll have the most darkness. Now you're still going to have, even in town, even if the street lights kick on, the trick, right, that all of nature, all the critters and creatures are going to think it's night.
Oh, right.
So you're
Nighttime.
still
Nighttime.
going to get all that really amazing effect of, you know, when nature's tricked and thinks it's nighttime. So just as an aside, we just had a program this week, but anybody can still do it. Just go online themselves and do it. Citizen Science has a soundscapes project that you can register for just as an observer. So very low commitment is like you have to send things and do things. It's just a matter of recording your observations during that time and soundscapes. So it's sounds. What do you hear? Do you hear the crickets? Do you hear, you know, what animals do you hear? Because, you know, it changes. All of that change, even temperature changes, right?
Indeed.
And they want you to record your experience, right?
Record them.
Yes, just type.
As compared to record
Yes,
them.
yes. No, just, keeping a little journal
log.
or keeping notes. And then you can submit those to NASA on Citizen Science. And look, there you are. You are a participating amateur scientist in the process. So we had quite a few people show up for that program because they really wanted to get involved. But I just want everybody to know that that is still an opportunity. And Mercy at the library has signed up and committed to all of that. So she's a great resource if you want to swing by and ask her questions.
Fantastic. The amateur radio community is doing a very similar thing with sidebar with NASA.
Awesome.
Dealing with ionospheric change as the sun sets and comes back up again, right? That 120-mile sphere of nighttime.
Yes.
It's going to travel over the top of us. You'll get a sunset all around and a sunset 4 minutes later, sunset and then a sunrise 4 minutes later, which is pretty awesome. And that'll be just that clicking on of the light. Of course, the sun will set for some time and the sun will rise for some time.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, brightness-wise, right?
Right. It's a pretty historic event, and it would be a great time to just take the opportunity to participate in that, right? This is just a really neat way, and it's really neat science-y way of participating in something that, they're going to write about and talk about, for generations. There's going to be people that pick up books 100 years from now, and they're going to have information about this very event. So, and you can participate in that.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
This is an event that we will tell our grandchildren, and they will tell their grandchildren about.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about that. It'll be a thing. It's a life-changing event, I'm told, and I've never gotten to do it.
Yeah. So
I'm excited too, just in time.
There you go.
I could use a good life-changing about now. So we've approached. We've got many programs that are coming up, space and eclipse-oriented. We've got customers of all ages, guests of all ages.
Yes.
Right. Coming to the library virtually or in person. We have community events that the library is involved with. Yeah. And now we're up to the day. And on the day, you'll be open.
We will be open.
And that'll be regular hours.
Absolutely. Yes. We will absolutely be open regular hours. Whatever glasses we have left over, those will still be available. We're going to give those out to the very last pair. So you're welcome to call in as well to see if we still have them on that day. If you don't want to run out, if you're not sure, we're happy to let you know what we have. And we will be viewing from the parking lot. Like I said, we don't expect a huge crowd since we're in town. But, out on our lawn is a beautiful, safe little spot if you can get to it. We just suggest that within walking distance is a little bit easier. Traffic is probably not going to be great at the Exodus. So probably no trouble getting in town. We'll see. But once it's over, and then everybody's going to scatter. So just be prepared.
Right.
And we're open till 8 that evening. So if you wanted to come and just hunker down afterwards and read or check out a laptop or something of that nature, we're a good spot for that too.
I've spoken with quite a few people about this, and that is the general sense that there'll be this building up of the crowd, which could be, I know Monroe County is expecting 300,000 visitors.
And that some of that will bleed down into Lawrence County, of
Absolutely,
course. And that's why we have to be ready. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this
we
is
are a better
place
spot.
To be. You're away from the buzz. That'll be 450,000 people in Monroe County, right? All the residents plus twice as many guests. They're going to want to come to the country because that's what we're famous for. We have big flat spots with no trees, right? Where you can go and watch the eclipse. So people are going to be everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
So considerations, do you have considerations or things you're asking your guests to consider as they do come to prepare themselves to come to visit for the day? Anything that they should bring, anything that they should plan for, but something, include in the crowd, I suppose?
Like I said, I our main concern is just safety, people getting in and people getting out with, like I said, traffic, and just know food could become an issue just with the restaurants being overrun. That's why we have our little solar eclipse picnicky snack.
Mm-hmm.
A little resource there that we'll have just to keep a few things on you, right? So, if Burger King runs dry, you'll be okay. You'll have something, it'll be all right. That's our biggest concern, right? It's just to make sure that not only that people view safely,
Mm-hmm.
but the before and after also we have a little sense and we're careful to be prepared for those delays. And like I said, we're a great place to just kind of
Oh my goodness.
settle down for a bit and let it kind of let them all do their thing and get out of the way, and then later make your way.
Yeah, that thing we love about the library.
That's
It's
right.
it's a nice place to curl up with a good book, whether it's on your iPad or on your lap, like a legit book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
old school. To me, legit books have pages.
Yes.
I like that smell and like turning those pages.
Oh yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah. So essentially there will be a Super Bowl happening at BNL. Imagine the Super Bowl happens there. Imagine the things you'd have to do to prepare yourself. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
You'd walk in and you'd have a bag with some water and all this stuff and some snacks and some things and maybe a light jacket in case it gets cold. You have to plan for all those things because you can't drive your cars around.
No.
The place will just be jammed. There won't be enough bathrooms.
Yep.
No matter where you go.
I know that a lot of municipalities, a lot of different state groups are asking people to, if they can, to just stay home that day.
Mhm.
Get your glasses on March 7th from 4 to 6 at the depot from the library. Go ahead and pick those up. And then, make sure you just have something fun planned in your backyard or at home. It's going to be extremely visible. So I know some people are like, well, what if I miss it? I'm not in the right place. Well, there's just not really a wrong place in a totality, right? There are some better places, sure. But you're not going to have the ability to miss it.
If you're driving, I'm sensing that the people around you will stop.
I'm thinking, right?
And you'll have time to shut off the car and take a gander, which, of course, is part of the problem. There's
Yes.
also not going to be an ambulance coming,
Correct.
because people are going to be parked everywhere. So these are just considerations, right? So that idea of finding a safe place, a comfortable place.
A comfortable place, yeah.
A comfortable place. And I like the word hunkering down. Yeah, just kind of finding a happy place in a beanbag chair and plan to spend 3 hours there.
Yep, absolutely. And I think it's going to be a ton of fun. There's going to be a lot of things to view and observe and kind of just take it all in. And it's, like you said, 3 hours. What's 3 hours? Yeah, just enjoy it.
I could scroll Facebook for 3 hours.
I think people do.
Of course, the
Mr. Larry.
internet might be down because, we only have so many cell towers, but that's neither here nor there. Plan for that too.
Right?
Yeah, because you just don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to jump into our infrastructure here.
Sure.
And everybody's planning for a huge crowd, but we don't know how much huge crowd we're going to have.
That's true. That's
Not to be
absolutely
all,
true.
but
Yeah, no, just common sense.
Think ahead.
Yeah, we're asking people to have a little common sense and to make those little preparations here and there and to be patient. Just
patience.
be patient.
That will be a big thing.
Yes.
Know that there are only 10,000 more people that are in line with you.
There you go.
Piece of cake. Unless you're waiting for cake. There'll be more people. This rolls right into then that idea about eclipse safety, which we like to always touch on here at the old podcast because eclipse safety is something that it's the sun. We take it for granted.
We do.
We've also heard something from our great uncle so-and-so or our great aunt somebody or other, or our one friend who said that one thing. And not all those things are always legit. Yeah. So I wanted to touch on a couple of thoughts. One, of course, our bodies know not to look at the sun.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Isn't it something? So if it hurts when you do that, like the doctor says, if it hurts when I do that, don't do that. So if you want to stare at the sun, it's just not a good idea. When the sun is out, you need to have your solar eclipse viewing glasses on. Absolutely not a set of Foster Grants. Cool looking, but you'll still be blinded by them from what I'm told. And I'm not excited about that. So I'm going to wear the cardboard glasses that I get complimentary from my Bedford Public Library.
Right, from the library. Right
on. So no unprotected eyes at the actual sun. When you can see the photosphere, the light part of the sun, got to have the sunglasses on, the eclipse glasses. But then there'll be this moment of totality, right? All of a sudden the sun will just kind of pop in behind the moon, and it will get pitch dark. And there's a halo around the sun that will appear. And once that starts, you can take off your glasses and you can look at the darkened sun. Yeah? And we call that the occluded sun. But the darkened sun, you can look at it for the better part of 4 minutes, which is going to be pretty cool. And every time I think about it, I get a little bit,
yeah, it's going to be pretty spectacular.
Pretty spectacular. Pretty awesome. Indescribable. And then all the things that you, April, all the things you said that are going to happen around the community, around nature, are going to happen.
Yep.
Pretty awesome. And then we get near the end of that 4 minutes, and time will be slipping away. Star Trek, Star Wars. We won't know where we are. Hyperspace, who knows? But time will you'll lose track of time. And so maybe a good idea is to set a timer, for 3.5 minutes.
That's a really good
to
idea.
Remind ourselves to make sure I get the glasses out. Because now you've had 4 minutes to stare into a dark room. So what are our eyes doing, right?
Yep. Dilating.
They're totally dilated, and we're enthralled, and we can't look away. And then there'll be a moment of twinkle, 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 and that's the time to close our eyes or look away and put on the glasses and look back up again.
Correct.
Because when it pops out, it'll be 15 million or 15 billion candle power right into our wide open owl eyes. And that's bad. On the good bad
safe.
scale, that's not cool.
That's super bad.
Yeah, super bad. And we'll have an optometrist here to talk to us about how bad it really is.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Very exciting.
All
Yes,
right.
this is a full service podcast. Indeed. So, and then the last thing, we're not supposed to eat and then go to the pool for an hour and a half, right? Because we just know that, because that's what society tells us. We learned it from our mom and our grandma. Well, I've heard tell that the sun at the eclipse is a different kind of sun. But the reality is it's the same sun. It's just really hard on our eyes, and we've got those giant pupils, right? We're all dilated, and it will really give you a blast that you can't get over. Yeah. So, of course, a quick glance at the sun, as always. You're not going to die from that. But, yeah, if you feel like it's uncomfortable, you're starting to tear up, look away like we do. You may have to remind your children of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you have littles, we've said you really need to monitor. You're going to allow them to do the viewing. Make sure you have glasses for every single person in your group, and that if you have kids, that you're monitoring their viewing so that you can kind of keep control of how much they're getting.
And it can be a lot.
Yeah. Well, then, kiddos super curious. That's the great thing about them, right? Always curious. So, yeah, for sure.
Kids make the best students.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely do.
They absolutely do. And that's a good thing. Well, believe it or not, we've already gotten to the end of my list.
Oh, wow.
You are a stroller through all this stuff, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not sure if since we've kind of broken out of my plan here, which is good, a natural conversation, I don't know if we've skipped over something that you think we should say.
No, I think we've done a really good job and hit everything that I needed to hit. And I, of course, will put another shameless plug in for just remember to pick up your glasses for free at the depot on March 7th from 4 to 6.
And before that, they're not available.
No, we're going to give them out, start giving them out until they are gone. So, and we have, I think our first order was 3,000, and I think the second order was 2. So we have plenty. Don't be shy.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, without those, I mean, that makes your life so much easier having the glasses. There are all kinds of tools we can make so that we don't look at the sun and we can observe it, looking away. And that's fantastic. The glasses are the best way.
Absolutely. Safest and best.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, we've come pretty much to the end of all the meat and potatoes, I guess.
Wonderful.
We can't think of any more questions at the moment, but I know you guys can. There's 1,000 questions, and we have 4 more podcasts to cover them. So, well, fantastic, April. Our conversation today has helped me to appreciate how our friendly library is helping us to prepare for the solar eclipse totality moment on April 8th at 3:06 p.m. I'm very excited about that. You have a great perspective on the nature of information and the connections that we have to have. Yeah, and I appreciate you having such a bubbly and cheerful attitude, bringing it here with us to share with all of us in the NLC viewing community and possibly the greater community as well. I really appreciate having you on today with us today. So thank you so very much, Miss April Blair.
And thank you, Mr. Lagwood, for giving me the opportunity to be here and share our information, and not just information about the eclipse, but about the library as a whole. I appreciate it very much, and we hope this will get people excited and interested and coming to the library and learning about all the cool things that we have to offer.
It's amazing. It's the library.
That's right.
There's a poem about that, but I'm not singing it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Until next time, stay inspired.